intimacy in part is a feeling of closeness, but oftentimes we feel closer to folks face to face because we can touch them, we can see them, we can smell them. So sometimes it doesn't have that same vibe, obviously. And all the other stuff regarding antisocial information, I mean, all this stuff that could be problematic. And by the way, touch is haptic communication. Include off-topic remarks for participants, spam messages, privateers, people will try to use the group community for their own selfish purposes, and flaming, the antisocial behaviors, people attack people. These behaviors tend to increase negative perceptions of the group community, and they may curtail membership if they occur frequently. Early computer-mediated communication researchers posited that the reduced social cues associated with the medium may encourage antisocial behaviors due to the lack of physical presence of the participants. In other words, it's much easier to be disruptive online since a person is in little danger of physical retaliation from other members. And people might be deceptive as well. And you can really get some stupid advice. I mean, like oh, you have cancer? You should, I don't know. Dude, there's, for instance, I mean, I see this on Pinterest, all this, all the detox things that you can do, and all these food things, the cleansing, some things can be, some cures are worse than the disease. Okay, the next section is just on, social support, stress, and well-being. There's just a lot of theoretical, that moves to all this type of stuff. I'm going to let you read that stuff. I think it's really, really interesting. Positive, negative relationships, that's, sciencey stuff. As you read through this, make sure you understand negative relationship versus positive relationship. For example, several decades of research has provided empirical support for the negative relationship between social support and perceived stress. In general, blah, 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 social support as an important mediator of stress. So that is, as more social support you get, the less stress you have. That's negative correlation. One goes up, the other one goes down. Positive is one goes up, the other one goes up. So actually, it makes no sense. It's sciencey. If it was a positive relationship between social support and perceived stress, then the more social support you would have, the more stress you would have. That's something like that. So you can read through all this type of stuff, but there's some really interesting things on issues of cancer studies, stress studies, the whole buffering model, which is in part the relationship between face-to-face and CMC. Says that the buffering model of social support posits that an individual's social network helps to shield or reduce the amount of stress he or she may experience when encountering both major crises. Main effects model, lots of more benefits that they talk about on the bottom of page 144. Basically, and it all boils down to this, right? Owen, Klapow, Roth, Schuster, and Bellis found that participation within an online support group for cancer patients predicted higher quality of life and reduced stress. More recently, Wright, Raines, and Banis found that computer-mediated support group users who had more positive perceptions of the benefits of a weak tie support from their group had reduced levels of stress. Some other stuff. In addition, in a recent meta-analysis of 28 computer-mediated support group studies, Raines and Young found that across studies, participation in computer-mediated support group led to increased social support, decreased depression, increased quality of life, and increased self-efficacy in terms of managing health conditions. Drop mic. That's good stuff. So there's lots of research out there that says getting support online for particularly health situations is a good thing. I'm going to stop right there. I will go later on, because I'm going out about 30 minutes now. I'll talk about some of the different theories that they talk about in the second half of this particular chapter. But if you haven't read this chapter, please do. I think it's some really, really good stuff. And I think the main thing here, the big takeaway here, and I'm just sort of emphasizing what I've been saying throughout the entire course, and that is, I think we need to combat the whole either-or thinking. We need to understand that even though to some people this might be counterintuitive, CMC, when it comes to getting social support, particularly within the context of health, has limitations, but the research actually shows that it can be very, very beneficial. It can be very, very helpful. So all those folks who are out there saying that no, the best type of support is always face-to-face, you got to do this face-to-face, that ain't the case. Face-to-face ain't the best. Always. Sometimes, but not always. That's it. Okay. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I will try to grade as many papers as I can today, and I will try to get the second half of this lecture to you at some point. Me, my globe, and Taylor Swift. To end this lecture, really the only thing that you need to do if you are diagnosed with something, shake it off. You'll be okay.